This one has been a long time coming, so say hello to Dirt. Now this is the third collaborative pedal between myself and Andy of Funny Little Boxes, but it's finally here. It's a high gain pedal, basically a love letter to Jerry Cantrell's tones, specifically on Dirt, but it'll do way more than that. And we've got very simple and interactive controls. Dirt controls the amount of distortion, and volume will also push your amp. Basically, you're going to find Unity quite high up. This is like a logarithmic taper pot. So you're going to find most of the action happens, you know, in this sort of area. And then we've got a 3-band EQ. Now prepare yourself, because I've got 15 completely different settings for a range of Alice in Chains tones. And I've gone another 15 settings for a bunch of other bands. Enough talking. Let's check out some tones. Now the intro, we started off with Them Bones. Let's start off with my clean tone. I'm using my Morgan MVP 66. These are hot pickups too, so they're pushing the amp, right? So first setting is Them Bones. It was pretty much the target tone that we were always listening to when we were developing the pedal. It goes like this. It's great for all that chuggy stuff. It's heavy. It's articulate though as well, right? Now the solo in Them Bones, completely different tone, and I've cut the mids and ramped the treble up, and we've got the gain up full, right? So I think it's pretty close to that tone. Next up is Wood. One of the key bits of that is that Jerry rolls off the volume on his guitar to get the cleaner tones, and then you'll hear it like roll up. You get that sort of lovely swell into the distortion. So if I roll it right the way back, it's on like 1 on the guitar now. Then you have this. But you get that, right, when you roll the volume up. It's great, isn't it? And then obviously the main riff. Now, almost everything in the middle, I've got a little bit of treble on there. Great for Damn That River. Next up, Rooster. This is just my amp. I've cranked the treble on this one though, so we have this. Now next up, I've taken all of the bass off and I've cut the mids. Little boost to the treble as well for Sickman. So very different tone on this album. Goes a bit like this. You know, all that. Now for the next one, I've backed the gain right off. Down in a hole, another slightly different tone really. A lot more sort of trebly, isn't it? And also the intro solo, that's a slightly different tone again. I've got these settings for that. It's actually harmonised. We've got this. With so together. So that's a bunch of settings from the Dirt album. Let's have a look at Facelift and do a few from that. So Man in the Box obviously has to be in there. love this tone for one of my favourite slash fills. Next up, Bleed the Freak. Again, volume roll off this time. The pedal's on with these settings. And then we turn that up. And then the other riff. Now next up, and one of my favourite tones, scooped mids. So turn the mids right the way down, trebles up a bit as you can see. Perfect for It Ain't Like That. Next setting we're looking at, We Die Young, and this is the same as Drone, so I'll show you both of those. We Die Young is quite grunty, isn't it? And then Drone is... Let's move on to Check My Brain. That's on the Black Gives Way to Blue album. Superb. It sounds massive, and it's just a one-string bent riff, right? Sludge Factory we've got to look at off their self-titled album. Much different tone, quite mids focused really, so I've cut the bass, I've increased the treble, but mids is right in the middle. Man, it's meaty, isn't it? The chug though. One more, let's do Died, which I think was the last tune they recorded with Lane. Cool tone, it goes like this. So I've probably laboured that, but I really did want to just show you just how easily you can get a ton of tones with not a lot of tweaking really. Okay, so we're going to look at a couple of tool examples. I've turned the dirt down a little bit and I'm going to turn it up again for the next tool example without touching any of the controls. You can see a little bit of the difference in gain there. We'll look at Prison Sex first, which I've done a lesson for. I used a prototype of this pedal actually, but I mean it sounds better I think now, but we have. The low E actually is turned down to B, hence all that. Bit more gain, a little bit of schism. Next settings, we've got this. Just lovely chug. I think it's great for Metallica's Ride the Lightning. Goes a bit like this. Play that all day. Quick change of guitar. This is in drop B. We're going to look at some Slipknot now. Again, I haven't really changed the EQ from the last setting. Just cranked up the gain even more. Let's do a bit of Duality. All that stuff, right? Now, a couple of Morello tones. We're going to do a bit of bridge, and I'm going to show you some single coil action as well, because some lovely things happen, especially on the single coil neck pickup on this bad boy, right? So clean tone again. And then with the pedal on, these settings. Neck pickup though. Again, I'll show you the difference between bridge and neck for Killing in the Name. Superb. You know, but neck pickup, oh. A tone I've always really liked is Jim Martin's tone from Faith No More. So something like Epic. But for me it's all that chug. And these settings I think are great for some of Steve Vai stuff. A bit beyond me, but still, sounds cool. Some extreme scoop mids, so we can get into the ballpark of Pantera's Walk. It's not a like-for-like thing, because there's a fair bit going on with that, but, you know, not bad. You know what I mean? But there's a doubler on this Astra modulation machine. So without it, I think it adds a lot of sort of upper mids and fattens it out ever so slightly. What about some Silverchair? That's another fun one. Nice sort of scooped mids tone of Slave. And then a very different tone for Freak, right? Check out the settings. Mids in the middle, cranked bass, cranked treble, cranked dirt. One more Silverchair one. Again, I've got the gain cranked for this one tomorrow. Now, I've already done a lesson for Smashing Pumpkins 0. I think it does a great job on that tone, but it's great for that Gish era tone as well. You know, that 80s cranked sort of Marshall thing. So like Siva, for example. I've got a couple of Soundgarden ones for you as well. These settings, Birth Ritual, which is cool. So I hope you enjoyed the demo, and I'm going to play you out with Room 1,000 Years Wide. See you soon.